Yo, welcome back to Real Talk. You know what I'm saying? We talk about real issues. You know what I mean? Hey, check this out. I thought about this, right? All right. Now, when I say this, I understand the situation and so forth. You know what I mean? And this is a deep subject matter. This is really, really, really heavy. Check this out. A lot of people, they don't know their dads. That's sad. That's messed up. I'm not disrespecting nobody. Hear me out. I understand. Some people don't know their pops and so forth, so that's their excuse. All right, check this out. Well, sometimes dudes and so forth, they get a woman pregnant and then they get pissed off. She put them on child support. Let me teach y'all some game. You know how you can stop your baby mother from putting you on child support? Put a ring on her finger and take care of your children as a husband and a dad. So those children don't grow up with the same problems. And think about this. Every single term, male or female, every single terminology you could possibly ever think of that was derogatory towards the man that should have been there for you. Think about when them children grew up without their mom or their dad because the mom or dad rolled out them same terminologies, those same terminologies you use. That's the same terminologies them children are going to say when they get older and make the same excuses. So, what should you do? What you should do is stay in a relationship with the woman that you got pregnant in the first place. So she wouldn't put you on child support. And you could actually support your children. Now, I notice when I know I say some really heavy, heavy stuff, but why brag about getting money if your baby mother can't even afford diapers that you flexing with all that money, but you're not taking care of them children that's yours. But then you get mad and so forth if she move on and find somebody else that wants to do right by them children that you don't want to have the process of. That don't make sense. Now, if you feel that it's wrong for another man to be a man and take care of those children, shouldn't you have been the man to raise them in the first place? Now, let's say it's a woman. You want dude to take care of those children. Well, shouldn't you treat that man fairly? So shouldn't you, male and female, work on your relationship before you even have children to begin with? And if you're at a position where you already have children, shouldn't male and female both equally work things out inside of a relationship for the benefit of each other and the benefit of them children? So that the next generation does not have to deal with having a, a philosophy of not understanding why their parents couldn't work out a small issue in their relationship to teach them a better way than their parents suffer from. So they don't have to deal with the same systematical snares and traps. Now check this out. Have you ever read the William Lynch letter? Well, let me break it down for you. And this is fucked up because it goes into the philosophy of Sex and the WIC program. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. All right, the William Lynch letter, and it's offensive. I know it's very offensive, but stick with me. The William Lynch letter, it says, "Teach the nigger woman to be independent. Independent represent separate from her husband. If in case you know what independent in that phrase when they used it meant. Also in fear. meaning teach the nigga woman to fear her husband. Then teach the nigga man to be mentally docile, which means not teach the nigga man not to think about shit at all, and teach the nigga man to be physically strong, referencing this overcompensated philosophy of manhood instead of using intellect and understanding to keep our families together. Instead of understanding that teach our sisters not to be fearful, but to embrace us. Yet, same time, go back to the sisters, they should not be fearful. They should embrace their husband. They should want naturally to stay in a philosophy of entwined with their husband, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and he should value the same philosophy with his wife, instead of with this nigga marriage philosophy is, which is the separation of our families. Hence the WIC program and the Section 8 program, because they tell our sisters as long as the man is not in the household, they will take care of a certain um, um, bills, as far as Pampers and Similac and shit for the WIC program and Section 8 housing and shit, stuff like that. That's a way of separating our families so the next generation grows up without a proper household with the man and woman inside of it. That is a way of them systematically destroying our people. It's part of social injustice and basically how the federal government of America felt that figured out a way of making our families deal with stress because they're trying to keep us from raising a proper household, which is wrong. Or at the same time, so we're talking about children. Also, when you think about the Planned Parenthood situation, that started Planned Parenthood was started by Martha Singer, which is Youth and Eugenics or the Negro Project. Negro Project, why would they call it that? Simple. Because you got to think about Christopher Columbus. When he came to this land, he called black people Negro, Hispanics Negro, and Native Indigenous people Negro. Which essentially is, well, why is it that black, Hispanic, Native Indigenous all essentially, or the highest ranking people did essentially with a philosophy of abortion? That's why they figured that out. And then when we have children and so forth, essentially what happens is they teach our sisters to separate from us men. Why? Because what they're trying to do is separate our families. Because they want to keep us in a philosophy of the government manipulation, miseducated school system, which goes to another subject matter. This is why these school systems decided they want to teach us what the government wants us to know and not what the truth is, because they don't want us to grow and rise up out of hand of oppression, because they want to keep us as slaves. That's why all these things I'm talking about is systematical social injustice, racial manipulation, which essentially is the reason why the government don't give a shit about our people, and it's wrong, and it's really, really messed up. So we gotta be stronger than that. What we gotta do is keep our families together. We can't afford to abort our children, so we have less revolutionaries to fight against social injustice. No, what we need to do is, sisters, y'all gonna have to, decide, don't abort your children. Men, we're gonna have to decide to stick by our sister's side and raise our children with our women. In other words, inside of a marriage. No cheating, nothing like that at all. Because that type of shit only weakens the value of a relationship. We gotta stick together and do right by each other. That way, this systematical destruction and racial, social injustice, manipulation, and a miseducation school system would stop, because we could actually educate each other so we don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore. We're raising revolutionaries, not slaves out shit. All right, that was happy. Okay. All right, hit that subscribe button and so forth. Leave comments and so forth. Let me know what y'all think. All right, it's real talk. All right, I'm out. Peace.